Caregiver, You Are Not Alone by Bobbi Carducci, The Imperfect Caregiver, published by S&H Publishing, an anthology of caregiving stories, followed by an essay written by Bobbi, reflecting on personal experiences and her feelings while caring for her father-in-law, Roger.
Kevin's story. I cried in the doctor's office this morning. I never cry. It's not manly. And what do I have to cry about? I have a good job, a great wife, a nice home. My kids are all doing well. In a few years, I'll be able to retire and do some traveling. Life is good. So what's the problem? I don't know how to help my mom or my wife. I see them both fading. One sick and needing almost constant care, and the other wearing herself out to be on call for mom's needs day and night. I wish I could do more, but I can't be in two places at once. I need to go to work to pay the bills. I have to run the household errands on the weekends. I do what I can to help my wife in the evenings, but it's so little when the need is so great. The guilt is overwhelming. When I'm at work, my mind is on what's happening at home. When I'm at home, I'm distracted by how much I didn't get done at work. I can hardly sleep for worrying, and neither can my wife. We are snapping at one another all the time. We never did that before. It's not like us at all. Each time I hurt her feelings, the guilt pours over me. I took the day off today. My turn to take mom to the doctor and give my wife some time to rest for a bit. The doctor said I looked worse than my mom and asked how I was doing. I told her I was fine. I didn't realize I was crying until mom took a tissue out of the box on the doctor's desk and wiped my face with it. How pathetic is that? I was supposed to be taking care of her, and she ended up taking care of me.
The Imperfect Caregiver says, dealing with the guilt. I am, as usual, multitasking. I have one load of dirty clothes in the washing machine and one load of clean clothes running track in the dryer. I have the timer set to notify me when the pot of potatoes I set to boil will be done enough to mash for Dad's lunch. And I'm trying to remember where I put my cell phone. I don't want to have to scurry around looking for it when the nurse calls to discuss the continuing fluctuations in Dad's blood pressure. And I'm trying to figure out how to deal with the guilt. I wish I could be more like my friend Dana. Dana does not multitask. She claims that it takes less effort to do 10 things consecutively than it does to try to do 5 things all at once. And she insists that feeling guilty is a complete waste of time and energy. Get over it, she insists. Guilt is a useless emotion. Dana is probably right. I just don't know how she does it. I can try to do fewer tasks at once, but I know I'll never get down to doing only one thing at a time. Not as long as Dad is alive. No matter where I am or what I'm doing, part of my mind and most of my heart is with him. I go to sleep puzzling over how I can add flavor to his diet of pureed food and thickened liquids. I wake up wondering what his blood pressure reading will be. Sometimes I stop in mid-step, listening to the too still air, hoping for a small cough or sneeze to signal he's still breathing. Caring for him reminds me of caring for my babies in the first days of their lives, at a time when they seemed too fragile to be of this world, and I feared that any misstep on my part would bring on disaster. He had a heart attack last month. He almost died again, and I feel so guilty about that. Shouldn't I have seen the signs before it got that far? Looking back, he did seem more tired than usual, and his heart rate was slow enough for an alarm to be sent to his doctor through the telehealth monitor in our home. Still, everyone agreed he seemed to be doing fine. The readings weren't dangerously low. We know you're taking good care of him, his care coordinator said. We'll keep an eye on this for a day or two and see what happens. Now we know. A heart attack happened. I realized that his EKGs had been fine up to that day. I know he never complained of chest pain or shortness of breath, until the moment the blood clot hit him. I know that I did the right thing when I called 911 right away. Time is critical in a situation like this, the paramedic explained, and you got us here fast. You did good. I don't feel good. I feel guilty. And I sit here today wondering how to deal with that. And I'm not the only one who feels it, not by a long shot. My husband feels guilty because I spend most of my time caring for the man we both call Dad, his father. On an especially hard day, he will apologize many times. My poor honey, he says, I feel so guilty. I keep telling him there's no reason for him to feel any guilt. He goes to work every day to earn the money that supports us so I can be home with Dad. We planned for this long before it became necessary. We agreed on the division of labor, but he still feels it, and it shows in his face, even when he doesn't say it out loud. I understand. My own father, older than Mike's dad, is also quite ill. He's being taken care of by his stepson in Florida, while I'm here taking care of someone not of my blood. I long to go to him, but I can't, and he doesn't want to come here. Still, I cringe every time I hear him say, I don't know what I'd do without Brian. In my heart, I feel that he's mine, not Brian's, and I should be with him, shouldn't I? A cousin of mine, so close we are more like sisters than actual cousins, feels guilty because her mother is being cared for by her daughter. Grandmother and granddaughter live in the same town and share a special bond. My cousin lives across the country, visits often, and calls almost daily. She's doing what I should be doing. I feel such guilt, my cousin says, even as she acknowledges that her life is in Florida and her mother will never leave New York where she was born and has lived all of her 82 years. I try to reassure her that things are just as they should be. There's nothing wrong with your daughter being there for your mother. It's what they both want, and she is in good hands. It's okay, I insist. But in my heart, I feel guilty for not having a better answer for her. Mike's dad, my father, and my aunt are all getting good care. The problem is not with them, it's with us, the caregivers, the ones who try to do it all and can't. The timer on the stove has gone off almost simultaneously with the buzzer on the dryer. The phone is ringing and Dad is making his way down the stairs. I can deal with all that. That part's easy. But tell me if you can, how do I deal with the guilt? How do I get over it? I need to talk to Dana. Caregiver, you are not alone. Copyright 2018 by Bobbi Carducci. To order a copy, go to sandhbooks.com. To order a personalized signed copy, send an email to info@bobbicarducci.com. www.bobbicarducci.com.